Hello, and a very warm welcome to RPM Esports F1. My name is RPM Bakker 1194. I will be your commentator for tonight. Let me get everything ready. Also, let me know in the chat if you can hear me properly. Well, I'm going to look for the first car on track. It will be Jones. We are here in Portugal on the Portimão circuit in the Algarve. Portugal, a new track in the game, replacing Singapore on the calendar. And we do have an exciting race to come up today, with the current championship leader Declan leading Marko Salinovic in P2 by 83 points. If Declan knows to outscore Marko by 2 points, he will be crowned as RPM low gear champion of season 1. If not, we will get some exciting last 2 races as well, knowing Huss is also 87 points behind and is still in the run for the championship as well. Declan, who told us he is not feeling too comfortable at this track, but he will give it his all. All he needs to do is finish right in front of Marko Salinovic, who is feeling comfortable on this track. Welcome to Shack Attack, confirming me the audio is alright. That's great, and looking forward to this race. So am I. I'll get some stats ready for myself. Normally I will have a co-commentator who helps me out with this, of course, but not the case today. I'm on my own, and I will try to provide you all with a good race. Let me know in chat any predictions for today. Also feel free to let me know how you're doing. I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. While we see Jones in the last corner, you can see on the telemetry down below his ERS is out of use. Might be interesting to see in this qualifying session who is going to pull this off, because as you could see, there is not enough ERS for this track, so drivers need to play with their ERS. And we see John also crossing the line and taking pole with a 117.4. The first car into the 117. That looks like a great banker lap for John. Looking to get the first car crossing the line was RPM Spritzy, going into 3rd place with a banker lap of a 118.3. See Alfa Romeo coming. It's Marko Salinovic, of course, one of the guys fighting for the championship, but seems to have invalidated his first run on the medium, so he will go for a second stint. And Deck also getting a lap in 2nd place. Octavio now to 119.7, might have made a little mistake there. Has invalidated his lap as well. Harry back in the chat once again. Great to see you this week, supporting the champ Declan, for your loyalty in our chat every week. I really hope for you he takes the title today. For the neutral point of view, it would be nice to see the title fight go on a little bit longer while I'm searching for the first car to set a lap, and it will be Marko Selinovic. And he is coming on his mediums right now with a 1:18.0, so that's a great lap on the medium compounds, only being 2/10 behind Declan. Now let's see the tires Declan used. Yeah, he did the softs, but of course we don't know if that was with a full tank or not. Going further down the grids to one of the guys setting a lap. We got Chicken Wing in here as well, making his debut in RPM. He attended in the practice on Monday, got unlucky in that session. Let's see if the new guy on board can get a good lap in. Well, we see also Big Puggy, always Rick, Brian, FCT, and Richie joining the chat. Great to see you guys. Hope you are excited as I am. While I'm trying to look for Chicken Wing his sector times at this point, putting a 22.7 in the first sector. That's not a bad time at all. Might be looking for P8, P7 down here. Both. Also Hus did a lap in a 1:32. That's a very slow banker lap, but I'm pretty sure that was not meant to be a 1:32. And then we see Chicken Wing losing it on the final corner, just stepping a little bit off the grass there. Bit too eager on the inside of the track, and we lost Reuzebucci. The other Haas driver did lose it in sector 3, and yeah, Chicken Wing trying to complete his lap, but goes for another one on his softs. Why wouldn't he? Sinful on an out lap, and we got Spivvy on an out lap. I do think it's Spivey, to be honest. So anyone knows, let me know. I will make it Spivey if you guys like Spivey. Looking who is going for a lap is Jones in the McLaren. Entering sector 2 right now. It's a left-hander, and this is a tricky one. The Portimão corner, named after the track as well. Into turn 13 right now. Turn 14 is a long right-hander. Wait, I'm a bit too soon. No, it's turn 14 and now turn 15, what is officially the last corner of the track. Jones looking for an improvement here, and he does, with a 1:17.7 going into P4. Might have missed Hus crossing the line as well with a 17.7, and Mirko in a 17.7 on P2. So at this point, Dek is in P5 with his biggest rival Marko right behind, and Hus is the big winner of these three so far. Dek is looking to start another lap, and Chicken Wing now crossing the line again, but might have invalidated once more, and that means he is now going for his third lap on these tires, where he spun around with already. RPM John getting pole with a 1:17.1. That's 6/10 up on Mirko, his time in P2. Sinful invalidated his laps. Spivvy aka Spivey now entering sector 3. Into the final corner coming up right now, taking it as wide as possible, and then you need to not hit the apex in here. And Pivi going for a 1:19.3, so he puts himself in P14, trying to look what the guys do who didn't set a lap yet. Chicken Wing also going for the final corner right now. I don't know if he's going to complete this lap, of course, with his tire wear. He is, and you can also see the tires are gone, putting a 1:22, but for a new set of tires he might even, the odds are big, he will complete a lap faster than that one. Sinful into sector 3 as well. A no-name corner, this one. Try to did a bit of my homework, getting to know the track. Now onto his line. Sinful, who is driving with no assist at all, puts a 20.7 in P16. Now only Sprink didn't set a lap yet, and we see Marko Salinovic also on a lap on his way to the 11th corner on track. He has some drivers in front of him. I hope Chicken Wing didn't ruin his lap right there, because it looked like Marco was being held up. You see he's also now taking it slow. Let's go on board with the man himself, Spritzy, now going for his second stint. Opening the DRS on the first DRS straight, being almost 3/10 up on his first time. Tough corner, this one, and we see RPM John retiring. He might have done that in the pits already. Spritzy all the way down to third gear, going a little bit wide there, but keeps it within the track limits. Also second gear for Spritzy here, short shift to the third one, fourth gear. Is he doing this entirely in fourth gear? He is, to minimize his wheel spin on the exit. And now on the last corner, really taking the apex right there and upboarding his lap. So thanks a lot for that. That was no fun at all. Getting back to Marco, who is on his way to the final corner. Will be trying to beat Declan for his best starting position. And it's 17.5, what puts him in P2. Might even be able to do another lap if he dives straight in. Huss also starting his lap. Jones 3/10. Oh no, not 3/10 up. Just entered sector 1. Huss is 1/10 up on his time in sector 1. Might be able to get a little bit more time. John saying in chat, saving a soft set. So John might be hoping for a late safety car around here. Huss going a little bit wide, and now he's down on his time. Got lucky enough not to invalidate his lap, but now also aborting his lap. Going for another shot probably. And we see a yellow flag. That might have been Deck, who is also down on his time. He is not improving his lap so far. Even invalidated, but he can take another stint, I was about to say. So let's find the next one on a lap. Might be Rusty Oil again. Yes, he is 4/10 up on his time. Great lap so far from the McLaren driver. And he goes to Alright. Alright. That was weird. I didn't see any invalidation from him, but Chicken Wing entering sector 1. Marko Selinovic is in the pits and will probably don't do any laps anymore. Mirko entering sector 1, having a little bit of a moment. Haas now down on his time in sector 3, 1/10. I didn't see what he did in sector 1 and 2, taking it very narrow there. And goes to P2. Haas beating Marko on the grid for qualifying at this point with a 1:17.4. And we are going to switch to Declan, who invalidated his last stint as well. Might even be able to do another lap, but you don't want to do 3 laps on the same set of softs in qualifying. Jones getting in, Mirko in on the end of sector 2. After this one we will switch to the Alpine of RPM Spritzy, who just got pushed to P9 by Kron, or it might be Goey as well. And Mirko did improve his time, but not enough. And we see now Spritzy here in sector 2. Better line there, and 4/10 up. So he might be looking for a 1:17.9, maybe even a 1:17.8. Can he help his teammate out? Get in that top 5, top 6 maybe? Boris in the chat, hello Mr. Chief Steward. Spritzy now crossing the line with a 1:17.6, going into P4 right behind Marko Selinovic and his teammate in front of Marko. So maybe some Alpine teamwork can help us a lot this race. Great lap from RPM Spritzy. Altia down on his time. We see Westboy, the other Aston Martin, didn't give him a lot of screen time so far. Invalidates his lap. Octavio in sector 3, 1.5 up, but also invalidated. Smitty 2 seconds down. Spivvy Spivey. So not going for another Chicken Wing, not going for any lap. Sprink is still in the pit box. Don't know if he has a qualifying ban, maybe. I don't think so, to be honest. Spritzy won't go for any other lap, so Westboy, who invalidated. Octavio testing the grip in the gravel here. Of course, he is a Portuguese. It's his home track. He would have loved to have a better result than this. He just got passed by a Red Bull that might be Spivvy, but he's not on a lap. I do think this is where we are ending it. No, it's Marko still on a lap. He is improving his time so far, but not by a big margin. In P3, and he is not improving only by half a tenth, so staying in P3, and that's qualifying over for low gear. Of course, Octavio needs to cross the line or enter the pits, but we all know he is not on a lap anymore. So this is the grid we are going to start the race with. We got a Red Bull in P1 who was saving a set of softs. Very confident decision from RPM John. Also quite a big gap to Haas, having 3/10. Haas in P2, Marko Selinovic in P3, with the other Alpine of Spritzy in P4. Great qualifying from him. Mirko in P5, who already showed his pace on the Monday practice session. No, I don't think it was Monday. We had a race Saturday here as well, and he showed it there by winning it. Jones in the McLaren in P6. We got Declan, the championship leader, in P7. Would have like to see him a little bit higher up, fighting us and Marko, but who knows what happens around here. Goey in P8, Kron in P9, Altia in P10, Westboy in P11, Octavio P12, Smithy in 13, Rusty Oregon takes P14, Spiffy in 15, Chicken Wing 16th place, 17th place, 18th place, 19th place, all are Sinful, Sprink and Rozenbeertje. Sprink and Rozenbeertje did not set a time. I'm seeing Evomaster also joining the chat. I see we got 25 viewers at the moment. That's a record for me personally. Thanks a lot, guys. Hope you are enjoying it so far. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel while the drivers are getting ready for the race. Shack Attack predicting Haas for the win. It might be possible, but we have seen Declan pulling stuff off as well, and you know Haas and Marco will be fighting for that second spot in the championship as well, getting the Constructor Championship. With me it's Aston Martin leading Alfa Romeo in the second place, Alpine being 76 points behind Alfa Romeo, but they are looking great with a car in P2 and P4, while John started the formation lap. I will get everything going, telemetry and the full track map. We are on board with John, giving us a little bit of, it's not a hot lap, but a few of the what he is seeing in P1. Very tricky corner, this one. If you ask me, I find it very difficult at least. Same for this one, going uphill. It's very easy to lose traction on the exit here. A very fast left-hander, of course it's not as fast now. John doesn't look to be very worried about his tire temperatures. Also Colin joining the chat. Great to see you here, mate. Congrats to John from Colin and saving a soft set. Yes, very smart decision, gambling on that safety car, as I said before. Shikes joining. I see a lot of Croatians in the chat right now. I can't read it unfortunately, but I'm pretty sure it's something positive. While we are getting everything done, I see Chicken Wing and Rusty Oregon both got disqualified from the formation lap. You can also see it because they are standing there already. Let's hope we get a clean turn one. I will try get a little bit in the action here with Marko Salinovic on his camera pointed at him, being between the both of the Alpines. Waiting for the cars to line up and waiting for the lights to go on here in Portimão for round 10 of RPM Esports. We got 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and we are off in Portugal, and it looks like a great start from RPM John. Declan also having a great start, already gaining 2 spots and mixing himself in that fight. It is happening a lot in the back. I would love to switch, but I saw both cars going side by side in the Alpines, and Spritzy also taking a lot of curb there in turn 3. It is called turn 3, and we already have the first safety car because, like I said, there was happening a lot in the back. We lost Smithy unfortunately in the Alpha Tauri even before turn 1. And we got John still in the lead. Haas still in P2, Marco in P3, and Spritzy tried to get past Marco in turn 1. Didn't exactly work out. I don't know what he's trying to do now with his ERS on. He's not even allowed to pass, so you can press it off if you are watching. Mirko in P5, Kron in P6, Declan looked to have survived it all in P7. I did see him climb 2 places, but he might have lost them as well in turn 1. Altea and Gooey, both Williams in P8 and P9, trying to get the position changes. We see Chicken Wing a big winner at this point, gaining 5 positions already. One of the men involved in the carnage before turn 1 is Jones. If I'm right, he's also not having any wing, so he will be pitting. Also, Spiffy is pitting with his Red Bull. There is a safety car, so they will be able to get back on the back again. Rozenbeertje also pitting. Silverfield didn't pick up any damage. Jones losing 10 positions. He had a great qualifying. And we see Gooey having 5 seconds of penalties for a severe collision. Let's see what happens next. Not lap 1 I hoped for, but at least we got the title contenders still in the race. And didn't lose too many drivers. And I am going to try and see if I can find out what happened with Smithy. I see some things happening. Try to avoid slam by someone behind and right into the fence. So he got touched from behind. Sorry, I didn't caught it on stream. I was focusing on the front pack. Maybe I can find it out by seeing some warnings. I do see that Chicken Wing has retired somehow. In the task system he didn't at all, because he's still driving in front of Octavio. Nothing to see at all so far. I don't see. Yeah, I see Chicken Wing just hit Jones, so that might be the reason why we lost the McLaren even before turn 1. He was facing the other way. But he did show some decent pace and can get back on the pack again. Let's hope he can get himself back in there. This is a nice camera angle if you ask me. Great to see cars on both sides of the track. The Williams of Gooey getting back to the pack, so we will have the safety car in back again this lap. I don't know what happened, but we lost 12 viewers when the race started. I don't know why. They seem to be interested in qualifying more than the race. Waiting for the message to turn up. Safety car in this lap. Of course, it was not Gooey who needed to catch the pack. It was Rozenbeertje who didn't yet. Maybe he can get back on it now and we can get that safety car in, because it's getting really annoying now. And we do. Safety car will be in this lap. We are going on board with the number 2 in the driver championship, Marko Salinovic, to see the restart. Huss in front of him, Spritzi behind him. And behind him is Mirko, another Croatian. Maybe the Croatians will help each other a little. Focusing on the restart, and it looks like John has gone and Huss is awake, Marco is awake, Spritzi is awake. A lot of stuff happening in the back. This must be Declan. Very slow into turn 1. No, it was Westboy. We completely lost Deacon into P13 already. So not looking great for the championship leader so far. And Chicken Wing is off. Be careful on that rejoin. Be careful on that rejoin. Sinful also coming. No wing. So there might have been contact there. And no, that's RPM Spritzi spinning on that turn I said was going uphill. Very easy to lose traction there. Managed to keep the car in one piece, but falling back all the way to P16. Although he is going for an attack straight away on Spivvy. Great move there from the Alpine driver, who will be fuming with that spin. But let's hope he can get back in there. Declan, who has the poor guy all the way back to P11, is right on the top of GUI. Pushing, it's not even GUI, it's Spring. My tables were messed up a little bit. Now passing Spring on the start-finish straight, and Jones, who is already back in P9, he was in P17 on the safety car restarts, so looks to be back in, coming back into the position he started, P7 of course. Marco really close to Huss, while Sinful picks up a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Spring also getting passed by the Williams of GUI. Far behind Spivvy, but of course he spun around. While Westboy is now in front of his teammate Deck, because Jones passed him for P8. Will there be any Aston Martin team orders here, or will there be a fight between both Aston Martin drivers? Declan trying to get close to his teammate, who is on the medium compound as well. I don't expect too much of a fight here. There you can see it, Westboy making place for his teammate to go through. And Declan gets into P9. Slowly getting back on top of the grid again. Marco still very close behind Huss, who doesn't look to be using a lot of ERS so far. And Chicken Wing is once again facing the other way in his Haas. Managed to keep it, get no damage, and will return his race onto turn 1. Marco now on 3/10 behind Huss, who is of course outside of the DRS from John. Spritzi is also been around, who is in P16 now. Marco trying, looking, 2/10, the gap is only 2/10, he will get this DRS. And it's easy done for Marko Salinovic, getting into P2. Can Huss keep up? Of course, Huss has a massive advantage on ERS at this moment. Mirko falling back a little bit to the top 3 guys. Marco using a lot of his ERS on the DRS straight to defend himself from Huss. We see Jones very close to Octavio, getting to the inside of the Ferrari on the DRS straight. Can the Ferrari driver switch it back? He tries to, but Jones has a better exit. and gets into P7. Octavio had a little look on the inside, while Declan is getting passed by Gui and looks to be stuck behind his teammate now, who just let him pass. So maybe the nerves are getting the better of Declan at this moment. But he of course said he struggles a lot with this track. Late braking here from Declan as well. And we see Huss falling back a little bit on Marco now. Of course, the DRS will get him close once again. But Huss might also be saving his tires. Trying to get the touch system to work and see what the tire wear is at this point for the guys. Huss is definitely not chasing saving his tires. He is just not as fast as Marco at this point, who even put the fastest sector 2. Octavio still close to Jones, now now outside the second range. Gui close to Westboy, and I don't know what happened, but Declan has pitted for the medium tires. Fell back all the way to P15, so he is changing his tactic to get back in the race again. Might be hoping for a safety car as well right now. While we see Sinful heading into turn 1 with RPM John already behind him. Huss now on 2/10 behind Marko Salinovic. Huss looks to be using a lot of his ERS right now, and Marco is really out of ERS at this point. Not using it. Huss is using it, and ERS had a peak but is not going for the move. Getting to Westboy now, who is on the DRS straight as well, but not close enough to Gui to make the move. Roosbeertje might make it on Sprink, is not going for it. Also not having a better exit. Spritzy is now on the hard tires, and that might be a very, very smart call from Spitzy, because the hard tires will go to the end from here. So he might have changed his tactic as well. We also see Sinful on the hard tires, getting to the position changes. Sorry, wrong one. We see Octavio and Sprink on this point being the bigger winners. But of course there is still a lot of laps to go. 23 laps remaining in Portugal for RPM low gear, with Huss now passing Marco. And it's the Alpine driver back in P2 again. Marco also won't be taking too much risks, knowing Declan is far, far behind. And we got a yellow flag on the DRS straight. That might be Sinful or... Oh, what the hell? That's Sinful completely losing it. Yeah, of course. Take the boarding with you. Take that one as well. Unfortunate for him. Sinful even getting 10 seconds of penalties for rejoining the track. I'm pretty sure the stewards will remove that 10 seconds, but it's not the race he wants it to be. I also heard him say it's very hard to drive without any assists, and he shows it as well. Unfortunate for him. While We see Altia pitting right now. Rusty Oil Can having one of his best races of the season so far in P10. And Marco is on 5/10 behind us. So Rosebeach trying to look and go for a move on Sprink. Can make it work because Sprink is going extremely wide there, but then Sprink looks to have the better exit. So great driving there from the Mercedes driver. And we are switching back to the front again, where Marko Solinovic is on 4/10 of us with the DRS straight coming up. John still leading the race and hasn't been in trouble so far. John even pitting. Let's see if Marco can make it into turn one. He can't, so we will take a look at John. His tires going for the hards. So the Rebel driver is going to the end on these ones. Marco trying to line it up for the first DRS straight, going a little bit wide, but it was just inside the track limit. Not getting the move done so yet. And the rest of the grid is showing a lot of gaps so far, so we will be focusing on Marco and Huss, who are P1, P2, so they are fighting for this win. Of course, both drivers still need to pit. And Declan even takes a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, so it looks like the Aston Martin driver needs to wait another week, maybe even two, to get his low gear title. Because at this point it definitely doesn't look like he is going to outscore Marco. Huss getting into the pits. So is Jones, I was about to say, but he isn't. What he does is trying to get the move done on Kron. No, he doesn't. You see Huss getting the medium tires fitted. Also 20 laps. It might be possible if he manages to keep the wear down. Now into turn one and a little bit in the way of Rosebeach there, but pit exit has ended, and that means Huss is allowed to race once again. Closest gap on the grid as well so far is Rosebeach right behind Huss. Rosebeach on the medium tires as well, if I'm not mistaken. He put them on in lap 1 because he was lap 3 even. He missed his wing. Chicken wing, Marko Salinovic, Mirko and Kron are still the ones on the softs from the start. And all the guys who still need to stop, yeah, it's the entire top 3, and there's a yellow flag in sector 2. I don't know for what, to be honest. While Mirko is also getting into the pits. Let's see what Mirko is going to take. He goes for the mediums as well. While John is setting the fastest lap at 20.0 on the hard tires. Okay, even getting back in P7. That means Rusty is even between Huss and RPM John, who was leading the race. So both Alfa Romeos still need to pit. They are in P1, P2. So let's hope they are communicating it. West Boy still needs to pit, and Sprink is still on his first set of tires. Well, I don't know why, but it keeps telling me there's a yellow flag in sector 2. Might be a weird glitch. While John is getting passed by Rusty Oil Can. And Huss is now right behind. And what happened to RPM John? He broke his front wing. The Red Bull lost his front wing, and that means RPM John, who was virtually leading this race, just passed the lead to, yeah, probably Huss, because Marco is in the pit right now, and Huss is on the DRS straight, looking to go for his P1 provisional, and gets in front of Marco. So interesting to see what happens now. Maybe Huss can get a little bit faster past Rusty as Rusty would have hoped, and Rusty might even can do the defending there for Huss if he manages to pass. While Rusty is losing it on the exit of turn 9, Samsung corner. That's a funny name. And we got Huss and Marco once again behind each other in P5, P6. Looking on the guys in front, Kron and Octavio still needs to pit. Kron is pitting right now. And also Jones and Gui will have to pit because those mediums won't last till the end. Trying to see where Spritzy is right now in the Alpine. It's in P15. Kron in the pit right now, falling back to P9 so far. Might even get worse for the Alfa Romeo driver. It's not. He falls back to P10, right behind the Rebel of Spivy. While Altea, I was about to say, is pulling up a fight, but that's Chicken Wing, who was getting lapped. So these two guys are really going for it. Marco going a little bit wide there, but looks to be within the track limits. Looking at the warnings of these two guys, it's Huss having 2 warnings and Marco having 1. So Huss really needs to keep it in between the white lines now. And it's both guys on the mediums as well. So all the guys are on mediums right now. It's Rozenbeertje who still needs to pit, of course, and same for Jones, Octavio and Gui. Only one guy on the hards, and that is Westboy, who just pitted for the hards. But we see Mirko passing Rozenbeertje right now, and Chicken Wing getting another penalty. That puts him on 6 seconds. Not the debut he was hoping for, of course. And we see Spritzy now on the back of RPM John. The pace difference on those hards is not too bad in comparison with the mediums. So the early stop of Spritzy going to the hard did get him back on the pack again. Of course, he still has a lot of cars to overtake. While we see Sinful getting out of the way, we got a yellow flag for Sinful getting out. Nothing going on right here. We passed the halfway of the race, and we only got 1 DNF so far, and that's Smithy, who we lost, unfortunately, even before turn 1. John also close to Westboy right now. Trying to go for a move maybe here in the Portimão corner, not doing it. Taking it wide up. While both guys in front of us and Marco are still fighting it out together. Spritzy will hope that Westboy keeps John up so he can get back in there as well. Us not doing too bad on the defense either, having 75% of ERS. Of course, a small advantage for Marco, but I don't think it will be decisive. And Marco now going wide, so that might be 2-on-2 for warnings as well. No, somehow Marco did not get a warning for that one. And we got a yellow flag, and that's Westboy off. Completely lost his wing as well. Declan in P11 right now. 3 seconds behind the rusty oil can. So, like I said, it looks to be like, while John is passing Rosebeach right here, it looks to be like the Aston Martin driver Declan needs to wait another week to clinch his title. But never say never, because we have seen some drama inside RPM already. I can remember Pui and Jetfish in Monza on the final corner last lap going off together. Yellow flag, that must be no, it's not Rosebeach, that must be Chicken Wing, who is off, and we might see a safety car right now. I only see a yellow flag so far, so let's hope it stays like that. But I do know some guys who are hoping to see a safety car, and it's not coming. So once again we continue racing because the yellow flags are gone. Jones right behind Kron, and Marco into the final corner now, still right behind Huss. And it's only a tenth now, and there you see Marco going for the move, passing Huss with the DRS. A car coming out of the pit, that was Westboy. But does Marco have the pace to get the gap done to us? I don't think he does. Mirko, yeah, it showed a yellow flag, but nothing wrong there. So far Huss did not manage to get past once again, and this yellow flag must be left cars letting everyone pass. Yes, it's Westboy. Very unfortunate for those guys. Well, Kron just passed Spring, and also Jones is looking to get past the Mercedes driver. Happening a lot at the back as well. Declan now really close to Rusty again. And breaking news right here. Marco managed to get us outside of the DRS margin, but you can clearly see Huss is really saving his ERS. Maybe planning his attack, and we still have Gooey in the lead on 17 laps old mediums. And another yellow flag for cars, letting faster cars through. Us outside the DRS. John picks up a 3-second time penalty. Unfortunate for him. It was also an unfortunate race for this Red Bull driver, who broke his wing, I do think, on the back of Rusty oil can. While the other Red Bull driver is under pressure from the Portuguese driver Octavio now. And Westboy retired. I do think he did that in the pit lane. So no safety car yet again. Unfortunately, he did retire. You never know what might happen. Remember, we give points to the 15 finishes. Let's hope this all goes well. We see Gooey now pitting. And let's hope the car of Westboy will And Octavio now getting 10 seconds for going. Yeah, the car of Westboy gets out of the way. 10 seconds for Octavio. Altia moving into P6 right now, having a great race as well. So is Kron, who is fighting with Jones. Great fight here for P4. Can Jones get back on it? No, he can't. The gap is a little bit too big. Sorry for that. So the Huss for the win prediction from Shack Attack is still standing. But Huss really needs to use some of his ERS at this point. And another yellow flag. That's Octavio completely cutting the final corner. Even looked like he was getting into the, and now retires in pit as well. That means Sinful will get into P15 and get points. Margaret shouting for John in P9. Oh, having a little moment there. What a moment to switch to the Red Bull driver. Jones still very close behind Kron for P4. I don't know why, but it didn't show me Jones. Excuse for that one. Well, we see Spring and Altia is in the pit. That's why Spring was passing him. The only fight on track at this point are Jones and Kron. Well, like I said, Sinful gets into P15, RPM Sinful. And that's a great example of the real sportsmanship there from Sinful. While Jones is going to look and get close before the DRS part. 5/10 is not enough on this track, and we got a yellow flag. It's a Red Bull. Spiffy also getting a 10-second time penalty for corner cutting. That might be for rejoining the track. Still on 1.7 seconds from Marko Salinovic. Looks to be using a little bit more of his ERS right now. But like I said, it's a great example of sportsmanship from Sinful, who is in P15, not having his best race of the season so far. Not giving up, just getting his car to the end. Happy with the position he is in, and he gets rewarded as well in P15 with points. So a big applause for Sinful from my side for sticking in. And Jones is still behind Kron. So there's not happening a lot on track right now, to be honest. We are hoping Huss can get back to the back of Marko Salinovic. While Declan is also getting back into P7, so I do need some maths in here because, of course, I'm not too sure. No, Marco will. That's quite a discutable move from Jones there. Especially with the 6 seconds of penalties he has. Quite a bold move. And I can imagine Kron is not happy with that one. Also Declan, of course, like the same story as Sinful, not giving up. Trying to get his car to the end, because every point counts. He knows Marco will gain on him in the championship, but he also knows every point he takes now, he can get a little bit of a sorry, lost my words. He can take a finish a little bit further on the back next week, while when we move to, I will tell you, Russia, the Grand Prix of Sochi. So we are staying in Europe once again before moving to Abu Dhabi. Sinful getting out of the way once again. Rosevic also having one of his better races of the season so far. No, he doesn't, because how can I forget the Haas driver took a podium this season already. And now in P9, having gained 10 positions. Spritzy 4 positions down on his starting place, but still a great comeback from the Alpine driver here. Looking at the tire wear of the mediums on track so far. You can clearly see Haas, his front left and front right are having lots of wear. That might explain why he isn't close enough to Marko Solinovic, because his tires are almost 10% worse than those of Marko. I am looking for Spritzy, who is in P8, and his hards are equal to Haas's medium, so definitely a great strategy from Spritzy so far to take those hards. He will be coming close to John as well in P7, because John is on soft tires, who are already nearly 60%. And we also see Mirko now really gaining on us, so we might see one of the other Croatian drivers getting a fight for P2 as well. I do think Marko is hoping for that, because you never know what Haas's tactic is. Kron is still behind Jones, trying to break the 16 straight away. Both guys are low on ERS, out of ERS even before the first corner. Let's see if we can get to Spritzy, who, like I said, has minimum tire wear. Of course, he's on the harder compound. And what happened there with RPM John? Having a little bit of a moment, I guess, because he just lost 4 seconds to Spritzy. While Declan in his Aston Martin also pitted for the softs and gets that fastest lap away from RPM John. 2.7 seconds the gap to John for Spritzy, and 8/10 for Kron to Jones. But on track, it's only for an on track position, because Jones has 6 seconds of penalties, if I'm not wrong. Yes, he has lots of penalties on track so far, so Sprink a little bit apart from his spin, a little bit invisible this race. The Mercedes driver did show he has great pace, so that on 9/10 behind Altia now on those fresh soft tires. looks like John managed to keep the gap to Spritzy on around 2.7, 2.8 seconds. Declan now trying to get close to Altia. There's no room for a move, but those softs will do their work and get him close for the next DRS straight. You can see how much of speed he has on those softs. The traction is way better. He might... No, he's not going for a move. And we got a yellow flag. That's probably... I don't know what's happening here. There was a yellow flag. Maybe Spring had a little moment as well. Because Altia is now very close to Spring. Declan will not like that because it will give Altia DRS as well. But yeah, Declan still has the faster tire on his car. And maybe John even had a moment because Spritzy managed to pass him and has a 5-second gap already. Completely out of ERS. But so is the Red Bull behind. And Reuzenbeertje in P9. 47%, not looking bad for him. Well, we are still hoping Huss can get close once again, and it doesn't look like it's going to happen. Also, Mirko did pull out of the battle a little bit more. Looks like he was gaining on us, but not anymore. So I won't ask any predictions anymore. A very unfortunate race for Declan. I would have loved to announce him as low gear champion today. Not going to happen. Maybe next week the commentator is lucky. It won't be me, I guess. But one thing is for sure, both Alfa Romeos are doing a great job in the standings as well, with a P1 and a P5. Same for the Alpine team with a P2 and a P7. Alfa Romeo, who was 17 points behind before this race on Aston Martin. Of course, we lost one Aston Martin already, and that means the Alfa Romeo drivers are going to take the lead in the Constructor Championship. So still double hopes for Marko Salinovic after this race. He will get close, as close as possible to Declan in the standings, and he will take the lead with his team as well. Quick math for me is Declan will take 6 points in P11. So Marco will get to 49 points behind Declan at this moment. Still a lot can happen, but 49 points with 2 races to go is not too much with our point system where the winner receives 40 points. Of course, let me have a quick look. Declan has taken the fastest lap so far. Quick look. Wrong one. Yes, Declan will get 2 points extra, so that makes 51 points. Still very exciting last 2 races. Intervals getting back on again. Declan also looks to be stuck behind. Why did it look like someone was up? Altia for a while now. Clearly see the difference in lines he takes. Also, we should also not forget Springers in P12 without any penalties. And Declan has 3 seconds, so he falls down another spot as well. I'm switching to Marko Zalinovic, who is in the lead. And it even looks like Declan is off after turn 1. But here we got Marko Zalinovic entering the final corner to make the championship even more excitement. We got a race winner. Marko Zalinovic takes the win. Hus in P2 and Mirko in P3. Great racing from Marko and Hus, who were close the entire race. Jones now also on the exit of the final corner. I don't know how it's looking with penalties, but takes P4 so far. Kron moves into P4 while finishing P5. Gui in P6 and Spritzy also trying to get in the final corner. His car through the final corner. Great comeback drive from the Alpine driver, and Edwin finishing P7. RPM John, unfortunate race for him with that wing damage, falling back. P8 for him. Rozenbeertje, a great race from the Haas driver. P9 but moves down to P10. A lot happening now. Sprink moves into P8. John and Altia 9 and 10. Declan in P11. Rozenbeertje moves to P12 because of the penalties. Rusty Oilcan P13. Spivvy aka Spivey. Let me know in chat. Spivvy Spivey. What it is. Finishing the race in P14, and we got Sinful, who was 1 lap down in P15. So all the points will be awarded to the 15 finishers, and Spring gets the driver of the day. I will not do any podium interviews. Well, Marco, you are good looking, I tell you that. Awesome. Awesome, Marco. No podium interviews today. Big congratulations to the podiums, everyone. Thanks for watching, and we hope to see you tomorrow again for mid-gear, who I will be commentating as well, but then I will be joined by RPM John if Margaret is okay with it, of course. I do hope so. Thank you, Margaret, for that one. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe on the channel. Follow our social media pages, who are in the description below. And we hope to see you tomorrow and maybe even Thursday on High Gear, where the elite drivers of RPM will come in action. That's it for me. I wish you all a very good evening. Good evening, good evening, good evening.